Okay guys, welcome back to part 2, or video 2 rather, of the series I'm going to be doing on FX replay. If you guys tuned into the last video, basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing how my strategy works, proving that it works, because FX replay is not just like going into backtest and on TradingView. You know, FX replay, you just cut the market off. So I'm currently in 2021, which, I had no idea what happened back then. I mean, can't remember. I was trading at this time, but that's what, 3 years ago. I don't remember every internal move of the market 3 years back, right? So it just simulates live trading. You can place positions, and what I did, if you guys didn't tune into the last video, we started the account at a balance of 100,000, and we're just going to be basically trading the whole year of 2021 and seeing what we can get the account to. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So here we are with another week. So we started last week, we had some winning trades, 2 losers, but let's go ahead and jump right into Tuesday of the next week. So gonna go ahead and do what we always do first and skip through Asia. So one thing I do want to show you guys is the only way I will use the higher time frame is to just mark out potential zones where I can expect a reaction. I don't use the higher time frame to actually look for trades, but I do like to see, okay, so once we get up into this zone here, while it may not hold, that doesn't mean that we're not going to get a nice, we might come in here and get some bearish trades out of that zone. So that's how I like to use the higher time frame. Also, once we come up and take this high here, right, we can expect maybe a slight pullback, but again, it doesn't have to be immediate. We can easily come trade into this zone, right, and then maybe get a pullback to continue higher. Now, another thing I love to do on the higher time frame at the start of every week is mark out not only zones I can react from. So I'm going to mark this out, as not a POI. And for those who don't know what a POI, point of interest, just to keep everything clear and transparent. Now, another thing I love to do is mark out where my last week's high was. So this was what, where would it be? Tuesday, Monday. So I'm the high of last week is this? Yeah, right here. This is the high of last week. Pretty sure, yes. So I love to have this zone marked out, previous week high. And of course, I do previous week's low, because these are huge zones of liquidity where a lot of times, if you've tuned into my other videos, we can see one thing I love to see, and I've mentioned this many times, but again, I'll mention it real quick here, is the greatest trade setup in the world, right? Okay. We have last week's high, we break it, we retest it, come break this again, and then get some sort of bullish or bearish change of character, in this case, to start trading it down. But we like to see it break out first, then they bring in break and retest traders, and then we can start taking the market short or long, whatever, depending on the situation. So that's something we can expect for maybe a little later in the week, right? Something like this. And then some shorts. But for now, we're just going to trade what we see on the day. We can expect a reaction out of here. But again, up until then, we can expect to continue trading bullish. Because why would the market just out of nowhere, like, you just got to ask yourself the question, why would it decide to just reverse now? From where? It has to have some sort of liquidity. There has to be a valid zone or valid reasoning behind why it reverses. So until then, just trade the continuations, right? So at that point, I drop back to the 5-minute. I have an idea of what I like to see for the week. And then we just kind of go from there, right? What can we expect? Possibly we would honestly just maybe retest the daily high during London and realign. bake in some sellers by breaking this, right? This is perfect. This would bring in a lot of sellers in here, right? Perfect. So now everyone's like, oh my god, I need to sell. I have to sell, right? So their positions are here. But again, you can't just out of nowhere buy from here, right? There has to be something to go off. You see that? Like, I mean, how much more, you know, okay, there was no trade. There was no trade. You know, it just came in and went. You need to have a confirmation. But again, like, you see how I'm able to predict what the market's going to do? While you might not always get an entry, or while I might not always get the entry, I have an idea of the bias, and this is just something that comes through experience and practice on softwares like FX Replay. Now, theoretically, this whole zone here, it's way too big to set a limit on, but this is a zone where you could expect the market to come back down into to continue up. So that's something we'll be looking for, right, for the day. Let's go ahead and see. So these stop losses have already been liquidated. Everyone's already screaming, right? Now we're getting into that higher time frame zone I was talking about. There we go. Let me see what this line was. So we're getting also closer to last week's high, right? But now this is also a place where we can look to trade the market down into to continue going up. So in this case, if I get something that shows me, hey, you can maybe short the market, I would consider it. Not yet. This I don't think is gonna. So now, at this point, in this situation, I would honestly take my trade from the imbalance. And here would be this would be a position I would 100% look to take. Oopsies. There we go. We get a 1 to 2. This would be a valid sell limit for me. Oh, oops. Let's just redo that. Okay, so 0.3% of the account, sell limit, save, positions in. Let's see what happens. Okay, we have been filled at this candle, and we're just looking to take it down there because the overall bias is still long. But we know we can expect some sort of little pullback. Market's going to chop around a little bit, you know, going to be all ugly. But have we gotten into here yet? Not yet, right? So we still hold, we stay strong. At this point, it's later in the day. Anything can really happen. Now, I don't like it when the trades are chopping around like this. So this would be classified as a loss, right? So first loss of the week. Oh, and like I said, these pullback trades are definitely a little bit riskier, right? Because you're trading against the overall trend. And, you know, like, this is just nothing you love to see. This type of price action. You like these right here. If we could have caught this, that's the type of trade you like to take. But regardless, you know, this is pretty much the end of Tuesday, I would say. Right? So we can go ahead and just leave that on as a loss. And personally, it's so late in the day, I would be shifting my focus to Wednesday. And let's go ahead and skip ahead to that and see what happens. Okay, all right, where are we? Perfect. Okay, we are here. We still know the previous week's high is right here, so chances are we are going to trade up. We're going to start trading up into that. Will we get a trade? Maybe. Maybe not, right? We'll see. There we go. Okay. So now, what did I say? I love to see it come back in. Now what I want to see is it come back in. Oh, that is... We come back in, do something bullish, take this out again, and then we can start to look for shorts. Until then, we don't do anything. It could easily just be a... And you don't want to just sell now, right? So you just want to keep seeing what happens. There we go. There's your break, right? Now we just have to look for what could potentially happen. Maybe we come in here, take this low, and then we can start looking for some buys. Perfect. Okay. This is beautiful because now everyone is prematurely trying to sell, right? There's their stop loss. Here's where their limit lies, right? Oh my God, liquidity's been taken. Let's do it. We're going to sell. No, not yet. Yes, but not yet. Perfect. Here's where I would long it from. And again, this is in confluence with yesterday's high. So here's the limit. And I would be setting it, it's not always going to come right to here. We want our 1 to 2. Quite honestly, I could probably even, because this is where I would be taking my profits, what I would do in this case is I would set my limit anywhere in here. Just so I get 1 to 2. And there we go. Limit set. Limit is triggered. Let's see what this is. Ooh, CPI. So I would definitely be making my trade go break even before this, right? Or closing. It depends where we're at in the trade. Before CPI hits. We don't want to be in a trade. Now, obviously, if we're in a loss like this, it's not the end. Yeah, okay. So this trade ends up being a loser as well. Let's see what CPI does. Let me delete this. Yeah, so that's a bit unfortunate. Definitely, this is just a choppy day. Okay, Powell's speech later. So, in this situation, quite honestly, what I would be looking for is I would have just because look at this price action, right? It's already later in the day. There's still a Powell speech later on. I would have this as a zone. I would have an alert set on this high. Already taken one loss on this day. I do not care to be a part of a market like this. No, right? So I'd be moving on with my life at this point, and I would be setting my focus to Thursday and potentially waiting or whenever this alert gets triggered. So let's just go ahead and watch. Yes, it's going to continue chopping. Just ugly price action, really. But remember, that setup I talked about, we're still waiting for this. That's only when this blows do we have permission to go short. Maybe we can take some longs up into it. That would be obviously super ideal. Around. So, this perfect. Okay. I'm seeing buyers in the market, right? During Asia. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. We have trapped this low. So that brings in sellers here. I don't know why that's not going straight. There we go. Sellers are now sitting here. So on a 1 minute point of view, you're waiting for this here to go. And that's when you would enter. Not yet. There we go. If we do get a trade, limit sits in here. Right? I would throw on the limit. Where's the target? right up here. Let's go ahead and see. Limit's been filled. Right, because we've taken some stop losses, but we still haven't fulfilled the overall goal of the move. We've taken some stop losses, hence the retracement. But we still know we're trying to trade up into that zone where break and retest traders in the higher time frame are entering. I don't know why my computer's out here lagging, but we're about to, New York's just opened. Perfect, yes, there we go. Alright. Now my alerts here would have been off. Oh. Perfect. Now we can start looking for shorts to come into the market, right? Because that alert, the perfect setup has happened. We faked in sellers again today. I don't know why there we go. At this point, we're golden for shorts. It's just a matter of when they present themselves. So, let's see. I would like to see a little bit more before I enter. Maybe one more push. Alright, perfect. Limit would go in here. Where am I targeting? Most likely, at this point, there's so much liquidity built in here. I'm targeting yesterday's low. So that'd be a valid sell limit. And maybe if the limit doesn't trigger. There we go. Limit has been triggered. And that's what I'm saying. Do not chase the market. If it doesn't trigger, it's going to happen. The market's going to move without you sometimes. It's just natural. But let's see what we got. Can we maybe stack a second order? At this point, when the market, I'm not going to stack an order right here because I'm already in an order already, unless you split your risk. That is, I'm going to get rid of this zone as well, just to keep the chart clearer. But once I put this position to break even, I will look to stack another. So what I also like to see is once we've gotten into this trade, right, a little fake break of structure, like something like this, to continue shorting is beautiful. So let's see if something like that happens. We get a little range, maybe a bit of, perfect, there we go. Maybe one more. Also late in the day, so we wouldn't be trading anymore, quite honestly. There's just no point. But we've had a realignment, so if you do want to, stack your second position, right here, this would ideally be already at break even, right? So you could assume some more risk. Let's just, okay, it is very late in the day. Just for shits and giggles, right? It's just I want to prove to you guys that this really does work and that you really can become a master of analyzing the markets and truly make good money doing so. And be able to take part in the big moves, That's all that really matters. So now we're just in Asia again, so we would be waiting for this, but I mean we're already in two positions, right? So quite honestly, I would just have an alert set maybe here to set this trade to break even. The first position's already at break even and we have our target, so There's really not much else we need to do at this point besides just wait. Let's see. Alright, so I would be setting my second position to break even. So now we're risk-free. We have a 1 to 3 and a 1 to 5 in the making. Completely risk-free. And at this point, I'd honestly probably be sleeping, so I'm making money while I sleep at this point. And let's just go ahead and see what happens. You know, we're probably going to get a continuation during Frankfurt and hopefully not a break even. That would kind of suck, but I mean, we still have the higher position, so there we go. So there's Frankfurt. And what is today? Okay, mission, yeah, nothing. Oh my. Isn't this just amazing when you're on the right side of the market? Oh, look at that. 2 trades, boom, 1, 2, 3. Between them, 2.5, 3, 1 to 5. Look at that. Look how the account's growing in just what, 2 weeks? With risking $300 a trade? What? Okay. Beautiful. So now we've come in with some good volume. We've taken out yesterday's low, right? Right in here. What I love to see, a retest, breakout, boom, and then we start taking it long. You know, that's how you just, this is really just how you start milking all the opportunities in the market. Now this is Friday, right? So who knows what's going to happen, but again, if I move these, this is Asia. We've come in with some good volume. Longs are highly probable at this point. Let's just see it come back in. Not yet. I want to see it touch that daily low one more time. There we go. Now, alert goes here. Or if we break this high, we can start to reanalyze how we're going to get into the trade. But for now, oh, look at that. Is that not the same thing that happened up here in a bigger scale, right? Funny how that works. Okay, look at this. Here's my longs. Funny how this works. It just repeats itself over and over and over again. I just don't know how that's possible. Right, and at this point, we're going to look on the higher time frame, right? Where's another zone we could react from? We're currently reacting from here, so maybe, you know, the trades can be taken anywhere up into this. The open of this bullish order block is a great target, right? Because that's typically where most of the orders came in, where we get most of the reactions, right? Or the reaction that at least would hit you break even. So quite honestly, here's how I'd be treated, especially because it's Friday, you're not going to be holding. This would be my trade, just up into the order, that 4-hour order block, so I'd have a limit. For sure. Why? Because, I mean, I have my check boxes. What do I need to see? I need to see breakout of a daily low, a weekly high, weekly low, daily high, whatever, right? I need to see a retest, and I need to see one more push lower. So I've had my criteria met. Why would I not put on the risk? You know, why? This is where a lot of people, they get scared to take the trade. Just take the trade. You got to be like a robot in trading. Once you have A, B, C, boom, execute. Here we go. Buy limit on. Let's see what happens. Filled. Wow. It's just... Ah! Damn, that's humbling now, isn't it? Karma. Karma, karma, karma. Very fun. Alright. At this point, little menaces, you know. We kind of got done quite dirty by the market, but it's okay. These are kind of, you know, the risky trades, right? But again, we've had so many sellers here. So many. And if you look at the 1 minute, perfect. We have a break right here, correct? It's very, very small, right in there. Here's entry 1. So theoretically, I would just be setting my limit right here. Stop at the low. Yep, for sure. And now we target here and here. So at this zone, I would be taking partials. That's how I'd be managing this trade. Damn, son. The market be humbling. Alright. Again. It did its thing where it gives us one last push. You still gotta know the overall bias, right? We know what we expect it to do, so we just have to give it one more chance. This is why I risk 0.3 of my account, right? Because you don't want to do this and lose 2-3%. I've only lost what, 2%, 1, 2. I don't really care, because I know I'll make it right back here. There we go. So this is a perfect lesson right here. When you lose, it doesn't, you know, it sucks. It's not great, but you have to be able to manage your losses, okay? So look, I lost twice in a row. We lost 600. Who cares, you know? Like, it's like, learn from that. Learn what the market's showing you. Here, I got a little bit lost on the 1 minute, right? I saw this, and then it punished me for being so, you know, impatient, basically. But I could have easily gotten scared, ran away, and missed this whole move, right? But I knew exactly what the overall bias was expected to be. It's just sometimes you do enter at not the perfect time. That's completely normal. And there are days where you would enter at the perfect time, but on this day, perfect. There we go. And that's the whole beauty of risk management, right? Sure, I lost twice. That's cool. But when you have the overall bias in mind, it's very easy to just realign, take your loss, learn from it. What was it showing you? Understand, okay, I entered a little too early, and then continue from there. So that's a really good lesson. I'm glad that happened on FX Replay. And this also shows you that this is fully live, simulated practice, right? Like, you're going to lose, you're going to win, and that's going to help you in the live markets to manage those feelings and those emotions. Like, as you can tell, I really don't get too worried when I lose, because I know overall my win rate and my strategy is profitable, right? So if I lose 5 trades in a row, which might happen in one of these videos, it doesn't really faze me, because I know overall in the long run, in span of months, weeks, whatever, this strategy works, and it does make me money, right? So with that knowledge in mind, I'm willing to just say, okay, I lost a few trades in a row. It is what it is. Move on, right? So that's a beautiful example right there. What we're going to go ahead and do is, let me go ahead and skip ahead to Monday real quick, and I'll do Monday like I've been doing in all the other videos, and then we will go from there. Monday, we want to be here. Let's do... Okay. Perfect. So we're at the beginning of a new week. What do I always do? Previous week's high, right here. This is Friday. Monday. Previous week's low. So before we take out this high here, we maybe can expect two zones, right? There's this and maybe a little lower, but honestly, I see this as a place we can look, a zone we can look for something on the lower time frame depending on how liquidity is engineered to take out this high and then begin building our week and stuff from there. So let's go ahead and drop back to the 5 minute. All right. We have our zone. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. We have a lot of buyers. If we want to keep going higher, what do we need to do? We need to somehow bring in sellers, right? So this is going to bring in some buying liquidity here. So we would love to see this get broken to bring in those sellers that we're so desperately needing. Right, so there we go. They're in now, but again, I still would be a little wary of this because we haven't ever come into that little 4-hour zone I marked up, which typically does. Oh, there we go. Now we could be looking for, and see again, perfect. Now we could be looking for something to happen. Where are we? We're about to be in New York session, so timing is all ideal, right? Let's go ahead and see what we have here. Have we broke? No, we have not. It's nothing yet. One more break, perfect. Now. Super ideal right now. Watch for this. And then we have the green light once that breaks. So, where's the trade? Anywhere from here. Right? Ideally. Ideally, this is the trade. Would I get a limit? Yep. And where do we want to take it to? At minimum, here. This is where the sellers have their stop losses. Is it a 1 to 2? Yes. Can I take it? Yes. Have we had our traps? What? Oh. Oh, okay. We broke. We can just market execute. It's not going to let me do a limit, so. Again, sellers would not, they would be looking to sell down to here, Asia low, right? So they still have their active positions, but we know we've had our trap right here. We've brought in the retest again, so there's more sellers in here all along this area. So everyone is short on this specific day. We market execute the long. And again, we've come into that 4-hour zone I was talking about. So overall, the picture's starting to align with what we want to see. Yeah, there you go. So at this point, stop would be break even, 100% risk off the table. And we just take our trade up into that zone. For what? 1 to 3, almost 1 to 4. You know, go live your life. Set an alert at break even and at your take profit and see what happens. So at this point, we would have taken a break even, right? Which is not the end of the world, right? It's you'd rather take a break even than a complete loss. It's also super late in the day. The spreads are going to go up. Let's just go ahead and skip to the next week here, Tuesday, right? Give me a sec. I'll go ahead and skip to it because that's where I'm going to be picking up the next video. But look at that. Look at that. Isn't that... And it's okay, you know? You don't want to be too harsh on yourself when you take a break even. You know, you've protected your equity. That is your number one job as a trader, is protect your equity, not be out here trying to make, your objective is to not lose money, right? And to manage your loss, manage your risk, which is where risk management comes in. Making money is a direct result. It correlates with effective risk management. So yeah, whatever. Break even, it is what it is, Who cares? But I'm going to go ahead and pick this series up in the next video, where we're going to start on Tuesday the 16th of February. So a little recap, we are currently in just 2 weeks of trading up around 8,000 on a 100K account with $300 risk per trade. I don't see how it can get much better than that. You know what I mean? It's just beautiful, quite honestly. And I've proven again that this works, that this, while you are going to take losses, you have to trust the strategy. I found a strategy that works. If you guys are interested, join the Discord. It's completely free. Links in the description. This is where you can learn from me and others. And you also just got to understand that trading does not need to be complicated. I'm trying to show you in these videos that it really can be simplified down to a basic understanding. And obviously there are more extreme types of trades you can take, but you don't have to take those trades to be profitable. All you need is the bare minimum, the simple, easy setups that present themselves week in and week out. And in my Discord, I'll be teaching you about these setups and actually showing you them live. And there's going to be other people who are on the same journey as you, which is the only way to learn, is by surrounding yourself with people with a similar goal, a similar mission. And that's what I want to provide to you. I want to be able to help you achieve what I have achieved through forex. So please join the Discord. Please continue watching my videos so that you can learn to become a truly independent trader. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.